Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Today is the 16th of September. Last week of the sun sign in Virgo. Today we have a moon sign that has gone from Gemini, and at 10:24 a.m. will complete its change, where it will then be in Cancer. So we're going from an air sign to a water sign. Air sign moves, air moves, water can stay stationary or move. Water is emotions, air are words and actions. So we're going from the words and actions, the mind, into the area of the emotions. Once we go into the area of the emotions, we have to make sure that we are not getting pushed around by all of the emotions, because we know that emotions can push our buttons very easily. We have to therefore make sure that we are protected. So the chariot is the symbol of Cancer, because it has the armor on, just like the crab, who's the symbol. Armor protecting oneself from all of the unnecessary emotions that get in the way. So we see that transition at 10:24 a.m. and then later this evening, 9:34, Cancer. The sign is going to be in a trine, a good positive place with unexpected changes. So we can expect some good things going on with our emotions. Looking in things in a new way is also an important part of it. So we want to take our emotional reality, and later tonight we want to look at things from a new perspective, see what maybe our emotions are about, and understand what they aren't about, so that we can grow and learn from them. The numerology for today is the number 5. Here's how we arrived at that number. 9 plus 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 altogether adds up to a 23. 2 plus 3 equals 5, so 5 is the number of today. 5 is the number of the Hierophant. 5 is the number of Taurus as connected with the Hierophant. 5 is the number of the classroom, or the Sephira of severity. Okay, here's all our positioning here. So we have our numerology for today, our sun sign for today, our moon sign for today, Gemini right here. Okay, so you can see where everything is placed upon the tree. Today, which one shall we look at? Why don't we take a look at, let's take a look at the, where is it at here? Chariot. Cancer. This is the sign that represents Cancer. The moon sign we're moving into. So remember, all about emotion. So you got the charioteer wearing armor. Armor is to protect the charioteer from all of the emotions. Okay, so it's very important when we go in life. We got to put that armor on. Put on the armor of God to protect ourselves. The charioteer is the inner self. The sphinxes are the senses. The reins by which he drives them represent the mind. The chariot itself is the body and is drawn by the sphinxes. Advancement in occult work depends upon the realization of the facts portrayed in this key. For it is only when we understand these facts that we allow the real self to guide our personalities. The charioteer is victor. The key represents the conquest of illusion. The idea of enclosure, protection, etc. is suggested in a number of ways. The Hebrew letter chet means fence or palisade. The sign Cancer attributed to key 7 means crab. an enclosed crustacean. The chariot, the armor of the rider, the wall in the background, the battlements, and the towers are all symbols of the same idea. The starry canopy represents the celestial forces whose descent into matter is the cause of all manifestation. On the shield in front of the chariot is the Hindu lingam yoni, symbolizing the union of opposite forces. Above the shield is the winged globe. The globe is the sun. The wings represent the alchemical element of air, which carries the power of the solar rays. The wheels represent rotation or cyclic activity. The scepter, a combined crescent and figure eight, symbolizes the combined power represented in tarot by the magician and the high priestess. Hebrew letter we know is Chet, which means fence, and it's Cancer and it's water sign. All right, very good. So that kind of is good to look here. Again, every day we could look at one of these. It's good practice. We learn a little bit more each and every day. The moon phase for today is third quarter, 45% full, making its way back to a new moon where we will be this time next week. Up in the sky tonight, it says Arcturus is the brightest star. Fairly high due west after nightfall. It's an orange giant, 37 light years away. Off to its right in the northwest is the Big Dipper, most of whose stars are about 90 light years away. Here we have a 9-tone day. It's a solar tone. So we have the solar dragon guided by the earth. Phrase is, I pulse in order to nurture realizing being. I seal the input of birth with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of navigation. Over at space weather, our solar wind is currently at 368.4 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is in the 2 range. Got this one big coronal hole down here, but nothing that's really directing our way. M-class flares at 40. X-class is down to 10. Geomagnetic storm activity is 35 in the mid-latitudes, 30 and, well, 50 in the high latitudes. And we did have a notice here, incoming CME. It was launched in our direction 4 days ago by the eruption of magnetic filament near the center of the solar disk. So, it doesn't say when it will hit. It says somewhere, around the 17th. So, okay, so we should be feeling this about any time now. And on a Jewish calendar, today's 21 Elul. 21 Elul. Daily thought is the rivers from Eden. There is Eden, and there is the garden. Eden is a place of delight, far beyond the garden, beyond all created things. Yet its river nurtures all that grows in the garden. The garden is wisdom, understanding, knowing, where all of creation begins. Adam is placed in the garden to work with his mind and to discover the transient Eden flowing within. So too, that is the objective of all man's toils in the world, to reach beyond his own mind, not to a place where the mind is ignored, but rather to its essence, to the inner sense of beauty and the wonder that guides it to Eden. There you have it. That is our opening segment. Gets us started knowing what we're dealing with energetically when we go in the world today. So prepare to deal with the emotions, prepare to deal with providing service to the world as the Virgo, the Hermit, winding up the last few days of the sign of Virgo. All right, UFO news is up next. Let's get to it.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
Alrighty, Dirk, thank you very much. Today, our first story takes us to Poland over the Baltic Sea. This was September 9th. This interesting video of a bright unidentified flying objects was recorded on Tuesday, the 9th of September, around 6:15 p.m. These lights were hovering over the Baltic Sea in Poland and were seen by multiple witnesses. At some point, it looks like they're descending into the sea. What do you think about this sighting? It's very interesting. We got a grouping of them. Big grouping. And it's 5 minutes 37-second video. And as we keep going, they do kind of look like they disappeared down into the sea. The way they're going, look at that. Very interesting. Okay, let's move on from Poland and the Baltic Sea to the UK. Mysterious lights in Dorking sparks rumors about UFO visitation. Speculations about UFOs visiting Dorking have increased significantly with reports of strange lights observed over the town located in the Surrey Hills, UK. Wootton sky was decorated with mysterious red and blue lights on September 14th at around 9 p.m. This activity was observed by Tony Little from the lounge of his home behind the Wootton Hatch pub. Mr. Little initially thought of the lights coming from the plane which regularly were taken off near the location. However, he soon realized that they were not moving and became convinced that he had just spotted a UFO after taking a closer look. According to the 74-year-old witness, he was in the lounge watching television when he noticed in the corner of his eye the object stayed in one place for 4 or 5 seconds, and it was the first time the witness saw such a strange aerial thing. The witness revealed he had always saw planes taken off as a window, but on the night the witness saw a UFO, he knew that the colors of the lights were clearly different from the usual plane. He said that the UFO had luminous blue and red colors and was not moving like an aircraft. After hovering, the object then moved sharply to the left and disappeared behind some trees. Later on, Mr. Little went on to the Wootton Hatch pub and shared what he just saw with others, only to know that others noticed it too. Above Lake Ontario, we have a UFO, a triangular UFO hovering. Man reportedly spotted an unidentified flying object last week in the sky above Lake Ontario. Identified only by the name Gordon, he was in his backyard along with his dog when he spotted a brightly lit unknown object in the western sky. According to the report in the Syracuse New Times, Gordon saw what appeared to be 3 brightly lit triangles in the sky over Rochester, New York. He got his binoculars as soon as he spotted the strange sighting in the sky to get a better look at it. According to the report, the triangles had red, white, blue, and green colors, flashing lights. Gordon did get a sharp view of the first bright object with his binoculars, and that it was mostly remained in one position except for the circular drifts from time to time. After watching the strange aerial activity for a while, he decided that it was some kind of a triangular-shaped object, and it was rotating. In an attempt to have a clear sight at the object, he walked down the street going to the beach when he spotted another light, similar deal, out above Lake Ontario. Moments later, he saw a third object in the northern sky while still at the beach. The third object was flying over the northwest, apparently towards Toronto. Gordon watched the 3 UFOs for over an hour, hovering over the skies of Lake Ontario. The 3 UFOs all gone without a trace around 11:15 p.m. local time. They did not move away, but went out suddenly, according to the report. All right, this is the Rosetta Comet. Here we go. The video itself's 35 seconds in length. Okay. And it says the UFO has been sighted on the surface of Comet 667P Churyumov Gerasenko by the Rosetta spacecraft. The craft, which is currently tailing the comet and had just announced its landing point, was able to take a high-resolution image, which then revealed a metallic-looking object. Let's go back and look for this again. Alright, let's see here. Okay, somewhere down here is craft, which is currently tailing the comet. Was able to take high-resolution image and then reveal the metallic-looking object. Conspiracy websites have backed up the claim that it's indeed an unidentified object by pointing out that the rock next to the device shows very different characteristics. Okay, we have another video down here. This one's only 1 minute 39 seconds. This is hopefully we see a better image here. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we can see. There's the object. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it definitely does stand out when looking at it. Interesting. Very interesting. So there you go. Up by... Oh, yeah, it does look like it's hovering too, huh? Looks like you got a shadow from it here. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, this is on the Comet. Let's move from the Comet over to talk about Area 51. If you're going to visit Area 51, you need the free Area 51 Viewer's Guide. For the first time in history, my Area 51 Viewer's Guide from the 1990s is available free to anyone who cares to download it. This is my visitor's guide to the secret military base in Nevada, home of UFOs, government conspiracies, or anything else you care to imagine. Okay, I don't take you inside the base itself, but I tried to catalog and collate all the information we did have at the time. The guide was instrumental in bringing legitimate press attention to the base and making Area 51 a public phenomenon. Here is the 21-page UFO Area 51 file. It says, I am the author and publisher, and I am authorizing its free release, superseding the copyright statement in the book before you download it. However, please read my terms, conditions, and warnings. I'm authorizing any member of the human race and alien races with PDF capabilities to copy, download, and print the document for their own personal use. However, I still retain my copyright to this work. I do not authorize reproduction, modification, or excerpts for any commercial purposes. You cannot sell this document or steal passages from it and claim them as your own. I'm pretty sure edition 4.01 was the final one. Although 17 plus years have passed since the last revision, little has changed in the area. My Area 51 Research Centers no longer exist. Now an empty lot, and most everything else is as it was. July 2011 was the last time I visited the area and hiked Tikaboo. The most important change for the travelers to be aware of is there is no gas in Rachel. Be sure to gas up at Ash Springs or Alamo. The Quick Pick convenience store is closed. The Tikaboo hiking advice at the end of the book remains current. You can ignore the unauthorized duplication warning in the document itself, since I am now authorizing duplication. You can also ignore the copy number in the front of the book. That was a made-up number anyway to make you think I was keeping track of all the copies. Now, I'm not really sure how many copies of this document I published and sold, but I guess it was something around 10,000. Modest for a book, but remarkable for a self-published document. I assume no liability. If any of this info in this book is out of date, needless to say, I will not be updating it. If you get in trouble because of any outdated info in this publication, that's your problem. If you want to tell people about the document, please give them the address of this blog entry. The link's right here, so they have a chance to read the notes. My Desert Rat newsletter has accompanied the viewer's guide, sort of an ongoing update of it. I'm grateful to David Mellison for scanning the document for me. I would have made it available earlier, but I didn't have much advanced alien technology myself. As of February 2013, the version is now searchable, replacing the non-searchable version originally released. Okay. And if you click on the link, this is what it takes you to here. 114 pages of this viewing guide. All right, there you go. So check that out. Area 51 viewing guide. Cool. And this story is subject: who are the PSYCHEANS? Good question. Who are the PSYCHEANS? The PSYCHEANS are benevolent human extraterrestrials who have bases in various places on planet Earth. I found out about them after meeting a UFO contactee named Oscar Mogoski in Toronto, Canada, some 29 years ago. Oscar was a real cool guy, and eventually, under his guidance, I managed to meet the PSYCHEANS physically. Well, the PSYCHEANS, look exactly like us, and one characteristic that I noticed is that they are very psychic, and well, maybe that's why they call them the PSYCHEANS. Since the PSYCHEANS look exactly like us, then pretty well the only way to recognize them is through psychic means. So it's mostly intuitive and very psychic humans who manage to recognize them. The PSYCHEANS are allied with many other human ETs like the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, or the Lyrians. Well, Oscar Mogoski eventually wrote a book about his UFO adventures and his own meetings with the PSYCHEANS, and the book is called My Space Odyssey in UFOs. The book is available from me if someone wants it. Some of the Psychians even became part of our history, like Jason and the Argonauts. It's more than a legend, it really happened, and it is part of our history. Overall, it's very fascinating. Other than Jason and the Argonauts, and so many legends referring to Quetzalcoatl, who was actually of a higher order than the Psychians, Quetzalcoatl is actually a spectron, which is one step higher than Psychians. Quentin these days is the kind of guru to the Psychians and was given temporary rank of admiral by the Psychian Federation in the Psychian space fleet. Temporarily meaning probably thousands of years. Quetzalcoatl, or Quentin, was vividly described in the Book of Legends about Gods of Central and South America, titled He Walked the Americans, by L. Taylor Henson. Quetzalcoatl specifically mentioned this book in conversation with Oscar Magosky on February 24, 1985, in the Teotihuacan City of the Gods in Mexico. About other Psychians who might be written up in legends, well, I don't know. I might be able to ask about this or do some deep research. That was Ponce de Leon, who was searching for the Fountain of Youth in the 16th century but never found it. However, Ponce de Leon had a cousin who was very broad-minded and actually met the Psychians around the time and was subsequently given rides on the Psychian flying saucers. The cousin proved to be such an outstanding human. After getting his UFO rides, the Psychian gave him Psychian citizenship and adopted that cousin as one of their own. That cousin is probably still alive because the Psychians sometimes grant life extension treatment to Earthlings that they gave the Psychian citizenship, which means that my cousin will live for centuries, just like Buzz Andrews, written up in another book by Oscar Magosky titled My Space Odyssey. The Buzz Andrews story. Buzz Andrews, an Earthling, was also given life extension treatment after some amazing adventures, was subsequently also granted Psychian citizenship. Okay. Interesting. And last piece here, Law of the Cosmos Beings. What we call law is up for discussion in this time on Earth. Understanding of the laws that govern the behavior of matter at small distances and the character of large cosmological structures. Two domains of nature connected with the theories of fundamental particles and the forces of the microscopic scale are applied to the evolution of the universe, understanding the timeline from the Big Bang to the fate of our universe. For the Romans, the place par excellence, where ethics, law, nature, religion, and politics overlaps, is the law court. We are now about that which lies beyond our universal laws and thoughts that are included in the topic of cosmology. Cosmos beings observe laws. This makes for a better universe. We are only one being made inside the cosmos, inside the universe, inside other universes, inside the utter film of the all. We are all cosmos beings, and the future will unfold that which we recognize as uncharted history of the territory of the cosmos. Just like we learned over time of continents across oceans on the planet, we now recognize universes in the cosmos. There is more than just energy, matter, space, and time. The universe is vast, and we will learn of space and travel out among the many universes of the cosmos beings. Get ready for the explanation in the arts and the sciences. We now deal with cosmology and the universal laws. Cosmology includes metaphysics and that which is ever-changing essence as a constant in the universe. The one constant in the universe is change. Some share that our ancestors left an unsurmountable way to comprehend our knowledge, left inside us all as our own description of the unforgettable laws in our DNA. Law of thinking, law of supply, law of attraction, law of receiving, law of increase, law of compensation, law of non-resistance, law of forgiveness, law of sacrifice, law of obedience, law of success are referred to as the forgotten laws. The observation that there are underlying regularities in nature dates to prehistoric times, since the recognition of cause and effect relationships is an implicit recognition that there are laws of nature. Recognition of regularities as independent scientific laws was limited by entanglement in animism and by attribution of effects that do not have readily obvious causes, such as meteorological, astronomical and biological phenomena to the actions of various gods, spirits, supernatural beings, and extraterrestrials. We now are making our own observances of that which is there and cannot hurt us. Observation and speculation about nature are intimately bound up with metaphysics and morality. Now we share the universe with those who are thousands, if not millions, of Earth years older than all of us. Those of us who have passed only to return again know that we can return. Some call this reincarnation. Is this the review of majority who return after experiencing life after death, or what some call a near-death experience? The law of divine oneness, everything is connected to everything else. What we call, say, do, and believe will have a corresponding effect on others and the universe around us. What we call laws may or may not be exactly the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help us God. We are all sentient, intelligent beings as renewable life source. The discussion of what is the force in source of all that is yet to be named and defined as the theory of everything or the God theory. Therefore, we shall continue to redefine our laws of nature and universal laws in our development of humankind and our universal creation inside of the universes. Those who desire to take time to share energy, matter, space, and time with me and others of our kind may want to become familiar with certain laws that humanoids have defined throughout their time spent on planet Earth. Spiritual science is changing, and so are we. All right, you can see there's a lot more to the article. So, and this gets into here. Now, these are the basic laws, and look what they're getting into. Look at these. 7 Hermetic principles. We know these, right? Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. So, as they're getting into these things, see, these are what we're already studying. So we're already one step ahead of the game. There you go. That's our UFO news for today. I'll be right back. We're going to continue on today with the topic of the Book of Enoch. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Let's continue on. So, for the last several weeks on Tuesdays, we've been talking about the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is one of the books that didn't make it into the Bible. Therefore, it's considered to be part of the Apocrypha. This book was a book that could have gone in, but the Book of Revelation was chosen over it for a variety of reasons. I believe that this book is very important to us, and one of the reasons I believe that this book was not included, because right at the very beginning it tells the words of the blessings of Enoch, wherein he blessed the elect and the righteous, who will be living in the days of tribulation, when all the wicked and the godless will be removed. That is why I believe this book is not part of the Bible itself, because it talks about the removal of the wicked and the godless. And guess what? The ones who are telling us we shouldn't be reading this material, that's right, they fit into the category of the wicked and the godless. So of course the wicked and the godless aren't going to direct us to material that tells us that they're going to be the ones to be removed, because they're too busy trying to convince humans that they're actually the ones they should be listening to. So, we've gone through the first section, second, into the parables, second, third, and now we're into these fragments from the book of Noah. And in those days Noah saw the earth, that it had sunk down, and its destruction was nigh. And he rose from thence and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, Hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, Tell me, what is it that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it? And thereupon there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, and I fell on my face. And Enoch my grandfather came and stood by me, and said unto me, Why hast thou cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a command had gone forth from the presence of the Lord concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished because they have learnt all the secrets of the angels, and all of the violence of the Satans, and all of their powers, the most secret ones, and all the powers of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those which make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and an angel stands therein, and that angel is preeminent. And after that my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand, and raised me up, and said unto me, Go, for I have asked the Lord of Spirits as touching this commotion on the earth. And he said unto me, Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever. Because of these sorceries which have searched out and learnt, the earth and all those who dwelt upon it shall be destroyed. And these, they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what we have hidden, and they are damned. But as for thee, my son, the Lord of Spirits knows that thou art pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. And he has destined thy name to be among the holy, and he will preserve thee amongst those who dwell on the earth. And he has destined thy righteous seed for both kingship and for great honors. And from thy seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous and the holy without number forever. And after that he showed me the angels of punishment, who are prepared to come down and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth. And the Lord of Spirits gave commandment to the angels who were going forth, that they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check, for these angels were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Enoch. And in those days the word of God came unto me, and he said unto me, Noah, thy lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the angels are making a wooden building, and they have completed the task, and I will place my hand upon it, preserve it, and there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall set in it, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will make fast thy seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with thee. And it shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiply in the earth in the name of the Lord. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw the valley in which there was a great convulsion, and a convulsion of the waters. And while all this took place, from the fiery molten metal, and from the convulsion thereof, in the place there was produced a smell of sulphur, and it was connected with those waters, and that valley of the angels who had led astray mankind burned beneath that land. And though its valleys proceed streams of life, where these angels are punished, who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, and they may be punished in their body, for they have denied the Lord of Spirits to see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in the spirit forever ever. For before the Lord of Spirits none shall utter an idle word. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body, and deny the Spirit of the Lord. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when the angels are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, the waters of the spring shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, This judgment, wherewith the angels are judged, is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment shall minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore they will not see and will not believe. Those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. And after my grandfather Enoch gave me the teachings of all the secrets in the book of the parables which had been given to him, and he put them together for me in the words of the book of the parables. And on that day Michael answered Raphael and said, "The power of the Spirit transports and makes me to tremble, because the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the angels, who can endure the severe judgment which has been executed, and before which they melt away." And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, "Who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it, and whose reins are not troubled by the word of judgment that has gone forth upon them, because of those who have thus led them out?" And it came to pass, when he stood before the Lord of Spirits, Michael said thus to Raphael, "I will not take their part under the eye of the Lord, for the Lord of Spirits has been angry with them, because they do as if they were the Lord. Therefore all that is hidden shall come upon them for ever and ever, for neither angel nor man shall have his portion in it, but alone they have received their judgments for ever and ever. And after this judgment they shall terrify, and they shall make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And behold, the names of those angels, and these are the names of the first of them is Samaja, the second is Artaquafa, and the third Arman, the fourth Cobel, the fifth Turiel, the sixth Ramiel, the seventh Danjal, the eighth Nikiel, the ninth Berquel, the 10th Aziel, the 11th Amoros, the 12th Batarjal, the 13th Basazjal, the 14th Haniel, the 15th Torel, and the 16th Simpasesiel, the 17th Jetriel, the 18th Tumael, the 19th Turel, the 20th Ramiel, 21st Azazel. These are the chiefs of the angels and their names, and the chief ones over hundreds and fifties and over tens. The names of the first, Jacon, that is the one who led astray all the sons of God and brought them down to the earth and led them astray through the daughters of men. And the second was named Azabel. He imparted to the holy sons of God evil counsel and led them astray, so that they defied their bodies with the daughters of men. And the third was named Gadriel, and he it is who shown the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve, and showed the weapons of death to the sons of men, the shield and the coat of the male, the sword of battle and the weapons of death to the children of men. And from his hand they proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from the day evermore. And the fourth name was Pimiel, and he taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet. He taught them all the secrets of their wisdom, and instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from eternity to eternity until this day. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to the good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the angels, to the intent that they should continue to be pure and righteous, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them. But through their knowledge and their perishing, and through this power it is consuming me. And the fifth angel was Kajaja, Kastaja, and it is he who showed the children of all men the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smitings of the embryo on the womb, that it may pass away, and the smitings of the soul, the bites of the serpents, and the smitings which befall through the noontide heat, the sun and the serpent named Tabet et. And that is the task of Casabel, the chief of the oath, which was shown to the holy ones, where he dwelt high in the glory, and its name is Bika. This angel requested Michael to show him the hidden name, that he might enunciate it to the oath, so that those who quaked before the name and the oath, who revealed all that was in secret to the children of men. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong. And he placed the oath, Aki, in the hands of Michael, and these are the secrets of his oath. And they are strong through his oath. And the heaven was suspended before the world was created, and forever. And through it the earth was founded upon the water, and from the secret recesses of the mountains come beautiful waters, from the creation of the world and unto eternity. And through that oath the sea was created, and as its foundation he had set it, the sand, against the time of its anger, and it dare not pass beyond the creation of the world into eternity. And though that oath are the depths made fast, and abide nor stir not from the place from eternity to eternity. And through that oath the sun and the moon contemplate their course, and deviate not from their ordinance from eternity to eternity. And through that oath the stars contemplate their course, and he calls them by their names, and he answers him from eternity to eternity. And in like manner the spirits of the water, and of the winds, and the zephyrs, and all of their paths, and the quarters of the winds, and there preserved the voices of the thunder, and the light of the lightnings. And there are preserved the chambers of the hail, of the chambers of the frost, and the chambers of the mist, and the chambers of the rain and the dew. And all these believe and give thanks before the Lord of spirits, and glorify him with all their power, and their food in every act of thanksgiving. They act and glorify and extol the name of the Lord of the spirits forever and ever. And this oath is mighty over them, and through it they are preserved. Their paths are preserved, and their course is not destroyed. And there was a great joy amongst them, and they blessed and glorified and extolled, because the name of the Son of Man had been revealed unto them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the sum of judgment was given unto the Son of Man. And he caused the sinners to pass away and be destroyed from off the face of the earth. And those who have led the world astray, with chains shall be bound, and with their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all their works vanish from the face of the earth. And from thenceforth there shall be nothing corruptible. For the Son of Man has appeared, and he had seated himself on the throne of his glory, and all evil shall pass away before his face. And the word of the Son of Man shall go forth, and be strong before the Lord of spirits. Okay. And it came to pass that after this, that his name during his lifetime was raised aloft to that of the Son of Man and the Lord of spirits from amongst those who dwell on the earth. And he was raised aloft on the chariots of the spirits, and his name vanished among them. And from that day I was no longer numbered among them. And he set me between the two winds, between the north and the west, where the angels took the cords to measure for me the place for the elect and the righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous, who from the beginning dwell in that place. Let's see here. So we are, I believe this is the last one right here, LXX1. Is that where we just were? And it came to pass that after that my spirit was translated and ascended into the heavens, and I saw the holy sons of God. They were stepping on the flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their raiment and their faces shone like snow. And I saw two streams of fire, and the light of the fire shone like hyacinth. And I fell on my face before the Lord of the spirits. And the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by my right hand, and lifted me up, and led me forth into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets to the ends of the heaven, and the chambers of the stars, and the luminaries, where he proceeded before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit unto the kingdom of heavens. And I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystal tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw a girdle, which girt that house of fire, and on its four sides were streams full of living fire. And they girt that house, and around were Sephirim, Cherubic, and Ophanim, and those are these who sleep not, and guard the throne of his glory. And I saw angels who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Phanuel, and the holy angels who are above the heavens, go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house, and Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel, and the mighty angels without number. And with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and blessed and glorified and extolled. And these blessings which went forth from my mouth were well pleasing before the head of days. And the head of days came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, thousands and 10,000s of angels without number. And he came to me and greeted me with his voice, and said unto me, This is the Son of Man, who is born unto righteousness, and righteousness abides over him, and the righteousness of the head of days forsakes him not. And he said unto me, He proclaims unto thee peace in the name of the world to come, and from hence hath proceeded peace since the creation of the world. And so it shall be unto thee forever and forever and ever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsaketh him. And with him will be their dwelling place, and with him their heritage, and they shall not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so shall be the length of days with the Son of Man, and the righteous shall have peace and an upright way in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. All right, very good. So, very good. So let's see, how much more do we have left of this book? We just finished through the Noah sections. So we have a bit left to go yet here. The courses of the heavenly luminaries will be next. All right, very good. So lots of good stuff in this book of Enoch. All right, let's go over to an article in 5D. This is from Michelle Walling. It's about abductions and the Starseed hybrid children. Thousands of accounts of abductions can be attributed to the alien-human hybridization agenda. Have humans volunteered to help a race that could no longer have offspring? And if so, will we get to meet these hybrid children? All aboard. Now than ever, there are more reports of people feeling like they have been taken aboard spaceships. In the past, few have been allowed to remember the experience as the extraterrestrial race that has taken them, usually as technology that wipes the memory in the conscious mind. However, more people are beginning to remember as they move towards a higher vibrational resonance, which thins the veils of forgetfulness. As consciousness arises, the future may involve integrating these hybrid children into the human race and planet Earth. There are several reasons for being taken aboard a spaceship. Family reunions can occur while sleeping that helps a starseed to forget many of their third-dimensional worries. Thus, the term sleep it off takes on a new meaning, and upon waking it seems like a brand new day. Healing can occur in these trips to the spaceship. We have help from our star family in preparing our bodies in order to hold higher vibration. We also have help from our multidimensional self, which may be in the form of a past or future self, connecting with the self of the now. Medical studies of human and their DNA seems to be a very common theme. Many races are interested in following the evolution of Earth. Humans included in the medical studies are the use of human woman's body to carry a hybrid extraterrestrial child, and the use of the human male sperm to impregnate an extraterrestrial female. The Starseed hybridization agenda includes many races of extraterrestrials who value today's Earth DNA. Many races have contributed their DNA to this version of our human makeup, and therefore there may be many stewards and watchers of humanity. Humans have been an experiment and have been studied and adjusted since our inception. The current version of our body seems to be close to the final version that will allow a DNA activation into our multidimensional selves while existing in physical form. Another reason for the hybridization program involves helping races of extraterrestrials that no longer have the ability to reproduce naturally. Some races that are involved in the program have bred out their sexual organs over generations and realize that the races will die out without some genetic manipulation and interbreeding. Humans just happen to be the most sought-after physical form of the universe. At this time, there's an agreement in place with many races and varieties of humans to help these races keep from becoming extinct. Many people have brought forth information about the negative ET races that have agendas for cross-hybridization and extraterrestrial and humans related to agendas that are not in the best interest for humanity. Wes Penray discusses some of these agendas in this article linked right here. For the purpose of explanation about hybrid children and possible future contact, I will focus on the agenda of the positive ambassadorial extraterrestrial hybridization programs in this article. This would probably include agendas that have been approved by different groups of extraterrestrials through councils and agreements that adhere with universal law. Okay, you can see there's a lot to this article. Good article, a lot of great information here, Michelle. Anyway, over the course of this, let's see here. It talks about the ambassador program. I have 2 readings that specifically talk about my own hybrid children as well as my role in helping others who have hybrid children. One was a solar return birth chart reading I had with Lavender. This reading was done in November 2013. It has been very accurate. Here's an excerpt from my reading. It says there's a lot of children you have given birth to. You'll be meeting them over the next 2 to 3 years. At different times in this planet, you had a starseed quality children. You took your eggs and grew them into hybrid children. In the next 2 to 3 years, there will be an event in this planet. The mothers will be ambassadors. You will be documenting it, filming it. You came here to do this. You have vanishing twins. You have planned for many, many incarnations for this lifetime. All right, and let's get to the very end, the last paragraph here. It says, clues are left for you to begin to question things in order to slowly introduce you to the realization that we all have extraterrestrial ties and that we visit them at night or even during the day. We are moving towards full disclosure through personal experience and remembrance. Those who are questioning and remembering things related to their star family are to be the ambassadors and mediators between Earth humans and other extraterrestrial races. Stay tuned to in5d.com for more info. All right. Good article, Michelle. Good article. The link is available, so I would highly encourage you to read through the rest of the article because we probably got through about half of it, maybe a little less than half. All right. That brings us to our channeled message for today, which comes to us from the angels. Here we go.
Message from the Angels.
September 13, 2014, by Ann Albers.
The Angels.
My dear friends, we love you so very much. Celebrate amidst the chaos on earth, amidst the darkness, pain, and suffering, because this type of turmoil results from the light attempting to rise to the surface of human hearts. Every perspective wants to be acknowledged now. Everyone wants to be seen as having validity to their being. And everyone wants to be understood as a creation worth of love. Love, dear ones, is not always a warm fuzzy feeling. Real love is an acknowledgement of the truth, that there is one creator and one light that animates all beings, whether they realize it or not. Love says, I see beyond your behaviors, your thoughts, your appearance. Deep into the essence of your being. I can love that light. I can love that spark of divinity. I can love who you really are, whether or not you are even aware of that truth inside of yourself. In a very practical way, love can look at even those who hurt your feelings, who treat you unkindly, who lie, cheat, and steal, and say, I know who you really are. I choose to focus on the spark of divinity within you, no matter how small or how dim. I will not dignify your dark behaviors, your ill thoughts, your unkind wishes. I will engage with you in a way that is healthy for me, for I respect my own light whether you respect yours or not. I will love the truth of your being, but I will not dignify your darkness. And then, dear ones, you send them on their way with wishes that someday they too will see their light. You do not have to dance with souls who do not embody kindness. You do not have to allow abusive behaviors in your life. And as you become firmly rooted and comfortable in the reality that it is healthy and wise to honor the light within yourself, you will notice that it is easier to love even your so-called enemies. In truth, no soul is your enemy. All souls are your family. Just as in your human families we encourage you to honor the light within all, but as well to create healthy, loving boundaries that honor your own. The world is indeed in a bit of chaos right now, but you need not dance in the darkness. You can choose with your free will to focus on all that is good, beautiful, and true. You can imagine those who have left the planet, even in the most unthinkably hard ways, happy in heaven, being received with love and celebration. You can imagine beautiful nature springing up and growing over war-torn areas, or even more beautiful cities being built, because in time this is what will occur. Darkness, by its very nature, is temporary. Love is eternal. God bless you. We love you so very much. The Angels.
Very nice message from the angels, which brings us to our meditation for today. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale again. And another breath. Inhale and exhale. And breathe in again. Breathe in love. Imagine that love circulating through your body and exhaling it back out into the world. And as you continue to breathe, just think of this affirmation for today. I can and I will. I can and I will. And allow those words of positivity to float and reverberate through your mind. I can and I will. Now imagine yourself walking through the streets. And as you walk through the streets, you see all the darkness that is out and about in the world. So you send love to it. And as you send love to it, the darkness dissipates. The light and the truth present the idea of wholeness. And whatever was dark is now illuminated. Whatever was doubtful is now faith-filled. Whatever needed healing is now whole. And imagine as you send light into the world, you continue to heal and make whole all those things which need healing. As you send light into the world, darkness dissipates and is replaced by faith. So let's just imagine going through the world and thinking of all the places where there is problems and sending love, sending light. Let's think of all the people around the planet who are causing the problems, and let's imagine sending love to them. That at this moment that love either transforms them or completely releases them. And when they're released, they get returned back to the cosmos so they can return again later, recycled. And let's just imagine and know that as we send love to the planet, we cleanse the planet of all else but love. So let's just imagine as we go into the world that love is enough. Sending love into the world is enough. And just keep sending out love. Let the subconscious mind continue on that journey of sending out love, and let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow with more news and information. You have an awesome day. I love you. Keep loving each other. And we'll reconvene tomorrow. Peace. I'm out of here.